Hey friends, I just seen something on Reddit and I just kind of want to go over it real quick because I saw it also on Twitter. Reed Southern or whatever his name is, he covered it. And I just want to cover something similar. So we're going to go look at the Reddit page. There's this Yahoo named The Crying Artist and he goes, Flux lore trained on glazed images. Glaze doesn't work at all, right? So what he does is he shows this generic dream shaper image and he goes, I trained a LoRa on a dataset of AI images glazed with default slowest setting on blah, 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 blah. And you can see the dataset in here. These are all AI images that are glazed. But as you can see, all these images don't look like they belong together. They're all too different. And I don't think he really understood the assignment. So, but I can't purchase that this is one artist, right? That's the whole point. He made a LoRa off of these glazed images, but used Flux, which is a new type of AI that's supposed to be better or whatever. I don't know. And he made this generic image, and then he shows other examples. I don't believe this and this and this are the same artist. Like, they're just too different. They're just too different. Maybe this one and no. Maybe this one and maybe that one, maybe a little bit. But on here, it's like a lot of people are saying, I don't really think so, but people are like, oh, artists can go cope and seethe and doing their blood sports bullshit as per usual as they like to do. You know what I really hate? I really hate AI hands. There's something about this bony, creasing, I don't know. It's just ugly. I feel like women don't have hands like that. And they always try to be like, oh, look how delicate and skinny long fingers are. But it just looks bad. It's like they have man hands, but women feature hands at the same time. So like they're long like a man's hand, but they're skinny and bony, kind of like some women's hands. So they don't look like they don't fit right, I guess. I don't know. But he also did a second post, and I'm not going to go over all these comments, but he basically, I mean, this got a huge discussion. I even commented here. But there's just some very unhinged comments here. People just disagreeing and saying that this looks exactly like this and this looks exactly like that. But I don't think these people understand, like, and it's stupid because this guy's an artist, right? So we're going to go look at his other thing. So he did a volume 2, which is whatever. So for part 2, he goes, hello again. This time I decided to train a LoRa on a dataset of my own art, despite it actually being initially reluctant. This was sadly the only way to avoid Gen AI inputs that wouldn't have been stylely consistent. All images were processed using default slow. So let's look at his data set. This is all his own art. So let's look. So this dude's like, he's not a beginner, but he's not mid-tier either. Like, he's very stylized. It's just very stylized, but he has some good like city ones. So this is the data set he used to make these. Now, there's some stuff that you could tell belongs to this, right? So like this here, he doesn't like drawing the upper lids on the eyes. When he colors, it's very like, I don't know what I would even call this. Watercolor maybe? But it's still a lot of different styles being done here at the same time. Nothing is really consistent, but he's hoping to recreate his own style. So what he does is he made his character. But the thing is I cannot buy that he drew this and that someone would assume this is what character was it? He had the character here. Where is it? This. He drew this. I don't think this is this. These are two different people's styles. They're not the same. It did keep some of his personal style. Like, it kept this and it kept these dark lines, but it fixed all of his problems, and it didn't even, like, he draws blocky hands, and this isn't really blocky per se. It's still like kind of still rounded and sharp, but not blocky. And his facial structures are not like this, and the hair is not like this. Like, it doesn't even draw the hair that he draws, right? So this is another image. Doesn't really color like him, and the hands are still different. I still can't believe that he drew that, and this is an image that he generated that was different from all the other images. I don't believe that if someone showed me this and these images, that I would believe that they were drawn by the same person. So what does this actually mean? Because he did an unglazed Laura as well, and it just made the character, I don't know, whatever. Apparently Ben commented, "Wow, I can't believe that post is getting this much traction. The poster has no idea what Glaze is designed to do, but let me break it down. They apparently glazed a number of real artist images and then trained a Laura on it. Yes, this is what Glaze was designed to disrupt. And yes, Glaze worked as designed. Look at the heavily rendered image he's touting as a result of the model. It looks extremely AI and nothing like the original images, which have much more texture and frankly style. If this image is supposed to mimic a style of the originals, I think that it failed and failed badly. Again, that's just me. You make all your own decisions. Does this single image accurately capture the training data style? And the answer is no. The answer is just fully no. And I know some people, who are in those spaces might say, oh, well, Nimbus, anyone can just take your art and make a lore off of it. And if it's glazed, it might, just because it has some of the features, someone might mistake it. But nope, that's not it. Because also, they're using a different model. So there's the Flux model and there's Stable Diffusion, which is Clip. I do not know enough about both, but just know that Glaze is meant for Stable Diffusion, right? So they were using a glazed image on another model that it was not technically supposed to work on, and it still technically didn't work in the end. It's supposed to protect the style, so someone can't make images based on your specific brand and go, yeah, I am this artist now, right? Because they used your name, your images, made art based off of yours. I wanted to show something that's as an example. They haven't been able to really accurately create an artist style using a Laura. It's similar, but it is not the same. It has a hard time creating new things off of other artist styles. It's close, but it's no cigar. So we're going to look at Civet AI real quick. Here's Civet AI. And as you can see here, this is Loish's Laura. Someone made one off of her work. And it does look like hers, but Loish doesn't draw like this. This is a Dream Shaper. Oh my god, I can't believe that you guys are still using this. Like, can you not find another style for this, like, anime shit? Like, it's all Dream Shaper shit. Like, none of these characters... Oh god, what's this? Like, maybe this one a little bit. But all of these, I don't believe Loish would have drawn any of these. These don't look like anything she would particularly make. And she doesn't even glaze her art. I also wanted to show a Ross Draws one. I've shown them before on here. There's only a few. So this is supposed to be another Ross Draws style Laura. But when you really look at it, these really don't look like he drew them. They just don't. Like these, like maybe this a little bit, but this one's probably the closest one, to be honest. This one's pretty close. It has his like bright colors, his saturation. I think that if someone saw this Laura, they would assume Ross Draws made that. Like, this is something that looks like something he would draw. So there is something to protecting your artwork and, making sure that you do glaze your work. I know that it's kind of like a battle, a cat and mouse game that's going to last forever. But if anything, those two threads from that person, clearly says that Glaze is working as it should, in my opinion. I don't believe that the images that were captured are the images that I could buy have been drawn by the same person. So you should still glaze your work. And I know that I've made stuff about Glaze before, and I keep forgetting to glaze my own images. But if I were you, just make sure you get it. Those crazy people over at AI Wars and Defending AI want to tell you that it doesn't work and you should never use it. And I said, I made a few comments on there where I said something like, I don't really think that this really encompasses your style. I feel that this is like too different. I think that it improved your work instead of recreating your work. I just don't believe that. I don't know what it is. Oh my god, I just really hate this. I hate it. I feel like it's misinformation. I feel like glazing will do exactly as it's supposed to do, but at the same time, it's gonna always need to be updated. So I don't know what the end goal is when it comes to Glaze. And I know that Lavender Town just did her thing on Nightshade. Like, I, kind of looked into these tools extensively. I know how they work. I think that Nightshade is probably less helpful than Glaze. Personally, I think Glaze is probably the better one overall because it protects the stylistic choices that you make. So if someone tries to recreate your work, they're not recreating it specifically, so that no one could be like, oh yeah, I made this. This is not this person's work, or draw something or make it do something inappropriate. So if you're seeing this go around and people are, kind of being weird about it, don't be weird about it. Like, don't take this seriously. Like, I feel that some of these people who are using this tech don't know anything about the scientific theory and how to properly conduct an experiment, and what a conducted experiment looks like, and what a success is from a failure. And the thing is like, if you say, yeah, this is a failure, everyone's going to go, oh my God, that's not a failure. Look, it looks exactly like his work. And that's just a cope for those AI bros. So, I mean, if you want to be that person, be that person. But I don't know. I just want to put this out there because I know some people are acting up and they're getting all wild about this. This is a nothing burger. His first thing was nothing. His second thing is nothing. It's a failed experiment. Okay? Failed. But I'll see you guys in the next one. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you want to see some other goofy stuff, I'll post this thing where this guy decided that he was going to have an island in the middle of the ocean for his AI. It's real silly. Alright. See you next time, guys.